Hello, my beautiful friends, and welcome to episode 112 of the Fresh Approach Fitness, a wellness company's podcast series. I want to thank you once again for showing up for yourself. I know it's not easy. It's not easy to follow up with the commitments that you keep to yourself. It's not easy to follow up with change, and it's certainly not easy to take that very first step. Believe me, I know, after a year of not doing laps in the pool, this morning I popped in. I just jumped into the water. Don't get me wrong, I've been swimming. But to jump into the water, literally, where it's cool out and it's early in the morning, and to get your heart racing and pumping, friends, that's exactly the way we need to be jumping into life. Not for other people's joy and pleasures, but for our own joy and pleasures. So I'm not saying to rush out of bed every day to do things for other people, but to rush out of bed each day to do something that you look forward to the most. And you know what we're going to do today? We're going to go through breaking some barriers. We're going to learn how to let go. And I'm going to start by sharing with you a little story about a monkey. Yeah, a monkey. All right, you ready? Monkey hunters use a box with an opening at the top, big enough for the monkey to slide its hands in. Inside the box are nuts. The monkey grabs the nuts, and now it has its hands, the monkey's hands have become a fist. The monkey tries to get its hands out of the box, but the opening is only big enough for the hand to slide in, like an open hand, as if you're shaking hands. It's not large enough for the fist filled with the nuts to come back out. Now the monkey has a choice. It either has to let go of the nuts and be forever free, or hang on to the nuts and get caught. Guess what the monkey picks every single time? You guessed it. He hangs on to the nuts and he gets caught. Are we any different in this regard? We are always hanging on to someone else's nuts, literally. That keeps us from moving on in life. You know, what external desires are you holding on to? You know, we're going to learn a little bit today about emotional freedom, how to let go of attachment, how to let go of clinging, grasping, so life can become so much easier. And before we go too far, I want to ask you, what is it that you are feeling attached to? Or that you're clinging onto? Or that you're grasping on with both hands, knowing that you're going to get caught or things are not serving you? What is it that you are grasping in life? I'm going to introduce you to a different way of thinking today, and it's really about leaning into your senses. So, emotional freedom means bringing in something new. A different sight, a different sound, a different smell, a different reason to let go of those nuts. Knowing that you can find those nuts somewhere else and you're not going to be caught, right? So we don't need to hold on to the things in our life that are holding us back. I want you to think about that. What is currently holding you back? And for 99% of the population, it's comfort, it's safety, it's knowing what you know now versus stepping into the unknown. It's people pleasing. Your spouse, your kids, your employer. Those are some of the things that you're holding on to. It's not the ability to make money. It's not the ability to do more. You're actually holding on to comfort. You're holding on to what makes you feel good because it's familiar. What if you start to enhance your senses and see what changes? It's going to help you release the stress. It's going to help you embrace the new experiences. Enhancing your senses is going to help you live in the moment. So before we go too much further, do me a solid. Stop whatever you're doing for 20 seconds and wiggle your toes. Wiggle your toes, wiggle your toes. What happened? What happened when you wiggled your toes? I instantly smiled. My shoulders are relaxed. I can't wiggle my toes and be miserable, right? So I want you to stop and wiggle your toes. And if you're still wiggling them, Stop and think about what other senses you're noticing in your body as you're wiggling your toes. So that's a simple technique that you can do to bring yourself in the moment, to stop thinking about the future, to stop worrying about the past, but to literally bring yourself right here, right now in the moment. And when you're in this moment today, you can think differently. You can pause for a second and think about, are you going to get caught pulling those nuts out? Or what if you let go of those nuts? Release what's easy. Release what's expected. Slide your hand out and try something different. Because here's the thing. Now that you've wiggled your toes and you're in the moment, look around you. What beauty comes to mind? Is the grass green? The sky bright blue? This morning when I was swimming, I actually noticed a heart-shaped cloud in the sky. It was really, really cool. Do you think I would have noticed that if I was in a different headspace? If I wasn't in the pool at that particular moment? What beauty surrounds you right now when you look around? The color of the walls, in my case, the color of my vision boards, what pops out. Think about that. So let's bring in your sight. Now, what do you hear? I hear the air conditioning going. I hear the hum of some of the low frequency noises in the house. And that's it. The rest of it is silence. Now you can go ahead and pause this for a second and think about, pay attention to what you're hearing. And now that you're back, what was it? Is it music? Is it sirens? Is it the birds chirping? Is it the other insects outside that you're listening to? Is it a baby? What are you listening to? What can you hear? So we talked about seeing, we talked about hearing. Feeling the air. All right. You really can't really feel the air around you, but you can feel the energy in the air around you. Sometimes you go into a space and it's cool. Sometimes you go into a space and it's hot. Sometimes you get close to somebody and your body temperature increases. Sometimes it gets cool. Sometimes you're feeling a vibration. What do you feel when it comes to the air? Don't discount this. Touching the earth. This is another one. So as we're engaging our senses right now, we are literally releasing stress. We are embracing the experience of life. And because we wiggled our toes, we are completely living in the moment right now as we speak. You know, it's been 8 minutes that we've been spending time together, and feel the difference of your vibration change. Of course, you're listening to this with intention, or you wouldn't have chosen this podcast, right? But maybe you're washing dishes, maybe you're cleaning the house, maybe you're going for a drive. I want you to think about when you have an opportunity today to touch the earth, preferably with your bare body. So what I mean by that is like your bare feet, your bare hands around a tree, touching the grass with your fingers or your knees as you squat down. Find a way of touching the earth. And it doesn't just have to be the ground, like I mentioned, the tree, the grass, sand, dirt, anything. And think about the texture. Think about how it feels. Think about how you feel. The next thing, immersing into water. So this is the last piece we're going to talk about when it comes to your senses. But when you immerse yourself into water, whether it be a shower, a bath, a swim, the lake, putting your toes in, immediately everything changes. Immediately. It's like you've just reset, and it feels fantastic. Think about that. When you wake up first thing in the morning, you hop into the shower, typically, right? Or maybe you're having a shower on a hot day. You're immediately refreshed. You're immediately awakened. Even if you splash cold water on your face, there is a difference instantaneously. So imagine how I felt this morning when I popped into the pool, how my whole body woke up. I immersed into the water. I felt the textures. I felt the resistance. That same resistance is the resistance that we feel in life. So when we engage our senses like we did today, we release the stress. We are embracing the experience that comes with those senses, including smelling the flowers. We get to see the beauty, hear the music, feel the air, touch the earth, and immerse into water of one way, shape, form, or another. It could be standing there and getting caught in the rain, but yet suddenly something's changed. You are refreshed. You are open. When you do these things, or a combination of these things, and you let yourself enjoy the experience, let yourself enjoy the moment, you, my friend, you are learning to let go. And when you learn to let go, that sense of attachment, that sense of clinging, that sense of grasping no longer exists. And guess what? Life becomes so much easier. You know why? You're lighter. You're lighter because you're not carrying anything with you anymore. And when it comes to a reset, these are some of the components you need to think about. Your senses. We're given 5 senses every single day. Or when we're born, we're given 5 senses. We use these senses every single day, but we use them on autopilot. We use them subconsciously. Intentional use of our senses is when we stop and smell the roses. When we pick the daisies and we understand what the petals feel like, how soft and yet pliable they are. Or when we notice that the ground, the dirt that we're digging in to plant the flowers, how it's either pliable or it's not, and it feels like clay, and it's so much harder to penetrate. You know, when we understand these things, we understand the parallels that it has and the impact our senses have in our life. And at the end of the day, we're looking for some bold changes, right? We're looking to learn to keep our promises to ourselves. We really, really, really are ready to take our life from unbearable to unstoppable. We're ready to design our life our way. And the first thing we need to do is learn to let go. So what moves you? What inspires you? What enables you to be the best version of you? I can tell you we were at a Rod Stewart concert on Saturday night. And you've heard me chat before about how Tony and I are vastly different in many areas. We come together in many ways. We are very similar. We're just on the polar opposite side of the same coin. So it's not like we don't believe in the same things. It's just we have different ideas, but we're on the same side of that coin. It's not an opposite. It's more of a different spot on this spectrum. But there's a couple things we have in common, really in common, and music moves both of us. He knows the lyrics. He loves to sing. I love to hear him sing. I love to sing, but I'm not very good at singing, and that's okay. I own it. I do other things quite well. I don't need to sing. But here's the thing. We went to see Rod Stewart, and this was his choice, his pick. He bought the tickets. Had I ever thought about going to a Rod Stewart concert in my life? No. Thought never once crossed my mind. I tell you, friends, it was one of the best concerts I've ever been to. The most entertainment, the most fun, and I've been to a few. And I really, really loved how we both felt the groove of the music. We were dancing in our chairs or standing up, swaying side by side, feeling that moment. You can't feel that moment. You can't embrace any of that if you're so caught up, if you're so intensely tight and wound up. You can only embrace these kind of moments when you learn to let go. That's what today's podcast is all about. Learning to let go of what no longer serves you. Best way to do that is to enhance your senses. Think about what you're holding on to that's not serving you. And I don't want you to be too quick to say, hey, I need a divorce now because my marriage isn't serving me. That's not what I'm saying. Could you communicate differently? Could you find something in common that is going to bring you two closer together? Think about what connected you in the first place, if that's your story. I want you to really just be true to you and realize that you offer so much that you bring to the table, but what are you holding on to that is not serving you, that is not helping you grow? Because there's only one real happiness in life, and that is the happiness of creating your best life. I'm looking at my vision board right now, and this last vision board I did I've done 2 this year so far, but this one that I did most recently was when I was in a little bit of a darker spot, and there's a lot more words on this vision board. And I'm going to read some of the quotes on here to you and share with you why they matter so much to me. When you follow your bliss, doors will open where you would not have thought there would be doors. And this is what happens when you learn to let go. When you learn to let go of other people's weights, their expectations, their thoughts, what they think you should be doing. When you learn to engage your senses and do more than just wish upon a star. When you learn to breathe in the moment. When you understand a little bit more about you and what makes you tick. So there's 2 more quotes on here I want to share with you that are super close and near and dear to my heart. And I just realized I was wearing a white dress last week that's almost identical to the one that's on my vision board. There is a lady walking through bubbles, and Tony and I were playing with bubbles with my grandson the other day. And again, really, really, really phenomenal how when you put your dreams and desires together on a vision board and you have the courage to let go of what's no longer serving you so you can embrace your senses and jump into what really matters, a new world is going to open up for you. So here's one of my favorite quotes that's on here. I'm different. I always have been. It took a while, but I've accepted that. I am a magic not meant for everyone. Not everyone's going to understand, so they question me, and that's okay. I will stay in my lane, being all magical and stuff. And that particular quote is huge for me. When you realize what works for you, the opinions of others don't matter. You may be reflecting, sharing, and appreciating their comments and their feedback, and you might find that you become a little defensive with your answers because you know, true to your heart, what you're meant to do. When you enhance your senses. Let me say that again. When you enhance your senses, when you let go of the nuts in that cage and open your arm and take your hand back out and go and find your own stuff free in the world. Before I sign off today, I want to share the very last quote on this vision board that I absolutely love. She had a gypsy soul and a warrior spirit. She made no apologies for her wild heart. She left normal and regular to explore the outskirts of magical and extraordinary. And she was glorious. On that note, my friends, how are you going to be glorious today? What action are you going to take to help you let go of what is no longer serving you? How are you going to let go of attachment, the clinging, the grasping, to make life easier? I want to hear from you. If you're ready to make some changes to your life, go ahead and click on my link tree. Love to be able to help support you on your journey. And I'm here to answer any questions you have at any time. Make it a fantastic, fantastic day, my friends. Sending you so much love. And don't forget to join our Facebook community if you're looking for like-minded people in the same inspirational realm of growth. Have a great week ahead.